Hi, welcome to Richard's Reviews. Today's review is The Predator, made in 2018. This is not a reboot, but definitely a follow-up on the planet Earth, in a sense. They reference stuff from the old movie, like little bits and pieces of the movie. That's a whole new movie set in a new time and place. The good. It's a Predator movie. I like it when they come out with new ones. It's the sci-fi type of sci-fi stuff I like to watch. I mean, but they definitely try a little too hard in this one. The bad, it wasn't that great. There was a lot of issues with the story and like the characters and the plot, and oh man, it's just it's too far out there. Like I accept the other movies more, just because they're on different planets or happen in different places. This happening here, trying to be a follow-up, didn't work out the way, and there's no information. Like, you shouldn't understand the whole story at all, because the way they explained it, it just doesn't make sense. Okay? So the ugly is, at some point, and I've seen other movies bash this, the scientist becomes a badass sharpshooter. So the character for Olivia Munn goes from, I'm scared, I'm just a scientist, to I can wield a gun and blast everybody. It got really ridiculous to that point. So the story was a bit off the rails too. The ending went straight like anime style, too corny for me. Like, I mean, I can accept certain things growing, but like they just went really corny at the end. Like, it just got really too crazy, too fast. The plot. So the plot, okay, if you haven't seen this movie already, is that there's a predator that makes it to Earth, but is being chased by another ship, another predator, and you find out that the predator apparently made a deal with the humans to help fight basically the predators. So there's like rogue predator helping predator. It's predator on predator violence. They make a cheesy ploy at why they named it the Predator. There's a lot of, I mean, it was just really weird, and the explanation and how things were. It's like, if you're gonna fight them, then why would you send only one predator? Why isn't there a group like they had for some of the other movies where there's a giant, medium or a giant ship, and then there's a couple of them? No, this was just one predator chasing one predator. The story's kind of ridiculous. The main character figures out the alien stuff so fast and survives, having it. And then his son happens to be I would say, an idiot savant. He figures out the technology too. And then the scientist, like I said, is Olivia Munn, and she's went from not handling a gun to all of a sudden shoot anything that moves and can kill everything, basically. So this movie did have a lot of good characters that I enjoy in movies. They were all popular and up and coming, either popular or up and coming. Just their roles were very limited because there was just so many of them. There was, the main character ends up with a group of guys, the crazy guys, but there's a bunch of them, and then there's his kid, his wife, and then there's the scientist. So you got all these things moving around. Nobody, it ends up being just how do they die kind of thing. So each character gets picked off, but it's from the crazy crowd. They all just kind of do their own thing and they get killed. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of shooting. It's cool predator stuff. There was just some really corny parts of the story. They somehow made the alien dogs one of their own by shooting it in the head by accident, and became normal. The weapon tech they have is they can figure it out so fast, and a lot of it didn't make sense how they figure it out so fast. So it's a tough movie to watch if you like the original Predator. I still like the first one the best. Everybody likes the second one because it was more advanced and stuff like that. But I like the first one. It was held to the fact that it was the Predator. Number two revealed a lot about what their background was, how they treat they don't hunt women and children, if that's the case in most cases, unless they wield a weapon. With a weapon, then it's fair game. The third and fourth, I don't recall if that was just a mix with the Alien, and then they had the Predators, which was interesting, and then this one. So I like that every couple of years they come up with something new. This one just didn't hit the mark. I enjoyed watching it in the theater because there's a lot of explosions and fighting, but the plot itself was just really bad, and the characters were knew stuff that they shouldn't have, and did stuff that was I didn't think was possible. They should have kept it at least realistic to the abilities of being on Earth. You know, there's certain things that they can learn as they go along, but it seemed like boom, they figured it out like that. So, you know, what you get in this disc. This is a 4K Blu-ray digital copy. So it comes with the 4K disc and the Blu-ray disc. There's no DVD. On the back, you can see an alien. Predator, and then you see Olivia Munn, and then the characters in there as well. There's definitely too many characters. There's good guys, bad guys, and then there's aliens. So inside you get the digital disc, and then you get the Blu-ray and DVD. It's cool. Nothing special, no crazy images. And so the movie, I would give it a score of 2 out of 5. It's not one of the better of the Predator movies. It's probably the weakest one. The ending was kind of cheesy. They went, like I said, like an anime kind of story plot. Like just happy ending, but all the characters that died. But there's a happy ending to it because they're planning for the future. The movie didn't make enough, I don't think, to make another one, but we'll see. And every couple of years, hopefully, something comes out. It's probably not going to be the same characters, but like I said, this cast was definitely interesting. There was main character's wife was from Chuck. She was interesting to watch. She was the only one that made kind of some sense. It was serious, but everything else they did was like really corny. Like I don't know, like the way that he handled the weapons and armor, like it just really didn't make sense. Like how did it get there? How did he even make it there? And then the kid just opens it up and does all this stuff. It's really corny. I wish they could have just wrote it a little bit smoother. It could have been a little smoother and make sense. Okay. Thanks for watching. Sorry it's a long review. Just a lot to talk about. Being that it's like number 5 or 6 out of the Predator series. Drop a like or a comment or dislike, whatever. And, it's always good to know if it was good or bad. Also, subscribe if you want to, if you like. Check out the other videos and or links below that you can see the YelpTube or unboxings. Okay, thank you.